Hey, it's Dave, Blue Jacket 66 here from my 2023 National Sports Card Convention wrap-up. I don't do daily play-by-plays. To me, it just gets a little monotonous and seeing the same old floor scenes over and over again. And I know you don't want to know what I had for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So I'm just going to say out front, I think what this format is going to be, me just talk for a little bit, kind of general impressions of the show. Then I'm going to show a little bit of show footage, more so of some of the auction houses than what I saw at the floor, because the floor is just simply too overwhelming. And I'm not a footage guy or a guy that walks around with my camera anyway. So I met a lot of people. It was just a fantastic show. Caden and I showed up on Wednesday. Unbeknownst to me, I thought I was a smart guy, booked a year in advance at the Regency, but in actuality, I had booked a year in advance at the wrong Regency in Rosemont. I am a mile away from the dang convention center, which I cursed myself for quite a while, as did Caden, but we made do. Luckily, we were able to kind of do some crashing with some of the fellow YouTubers in the afternoon rather than driving back and forth. It was a little bit of a hassle in that I drove and paid $15 a day. It was no good. I won't make that mistake again. But we got in Wednesday and hit the show floor for a couple hours on Wednesday, and all I can say is it was massive. It was massive on Wednesday. I know you've seen a lot of videos. Never seen anything like it. The hobby is on fire as far as participation. Whether or not how much money's exchanging hands and whatnot, I don't know. But from what I saw, all my friends and fellow YouTubers, and I don't think I talked to a YouTuber or a fellow collector that did not make a purchase and was happy about it. So that's, I don't want to say what I did every day today, because I do want to throw out a couple shout outs here. And I'm very hesitant to name all the people I met, because I met so many people, I really don't want to name names. However, I do want to say just a special thank you to Mike, Andy, Josh, Garrett, Chris, Mike, Canadian Cards, there's several Mikes there, JT, for hospitality and kindness toward my son. My son and I do this every year. It's a big deal to him, and it's why I do it. And they are so compassionate and patient with him and kind, and it just means the world to him, and it means the world to me. So I'm shouting out those people. But in reality, all the people that said hi to me and that I had conversations with, I am so happy that we were able to speak, even if it's for a little bit. There's a couple people I meant to speak with quite a bit, and it didn't happen. There's other people that I'm very happy that I spoke to a little bit more than I was able to at the last national I went to. So all of you, it was so fun. Now, in general, the National was huge. It was a little warm on Wednesday and Thursday. It was exceedingly crowded and busy to the point that you're thinking, this is too much. It's too busy. It's too big. But I don't really want to say that, because what is too big? It just means the hobby's strong. It does mean that next year in Cleveland, they need the floor space. There needs to be a little bit more. If you're going to have that many tables and that much stuff going on, there's got to be a little bit more room in between, because it was really crowded. But I'm not gonna indicate that that's a negative, because that just means there's a lot of people there, a lot of young people, a lot of old people, a lot of middle-aged people, men, women, children, everybody just having a great time. What else do we talk about? The food. The food is okay. I mean, they had a fudge vendor there, and they had some other vendors other than your usual hot dog pizza. And, the pizza's okay, and hot dog's a hot dog. So it wasn't terrible. The important thing was the lines went pretty quickly. Weren't standing in line for food and forever and for the restroom. So that was okay. It was really crowded getting in, but overall, a lot of stuff there. I read on Net 54, someone said, "Where was all the vintage?" Are you kidding me? Were you at this show? massive amounts of vintage. It's the National. There's a vintage show. There was an incredible amount of vintage. You couldn't get to all the vintage. There was modern stuff too. Hooray. I mean, it's fantastic. There's a lot of modern. There's a lot of vintage. There's a lot of memorabilia. And I found everybody to be engaging, except for one person, engaging and a pleasure to talk to. I really like talking to dealers about cards and showing them some of my cards, them showing me some of theirs, and the learning process. But in general, before I get to a little bit of footage here and then talking about my pickup and showing some cards here that that I got here at the National, I want to say the biggest part of the National that gives me pleasure and is seeing other people's cards that they get and hearing them tell about the card, why they got the card, what it means to them, and letting them show me. That gives me the greatest amount of pleasure that I get at the National, just except for the meet and greets and the meetups, which we had on Thursday and Friday nights were fabulous. But I love it when people come over and want to show me their sports cards. Some people are sheepish that maybe it's not a high dollar card, it's a low dollar card. Maybe it's not a high condition card, it's a low condition. You have to understand, we all collect sports cards. We all love them, and they're all fantastic. That gives me the biggest kick is when people show sports cards, because that's what I like doing too. I brought some sports cards. I'll show some that some fellow YouTubers wanted to see. So obviously I'm not getting into too much, but there was a YouTube get-together on Thursday. It was fantastic. Thanks for Mike Baseball Collector for putting it together, and for those that contributed to the food. A lot of good conversation, a lot of meeting people I haven't met before, and hopefully people who've never done that before realize we're just goofy guys who collect baseball cards, who really love each other and appreciate each other's collection, and more importantly, we appreciate each other's passion for the hobby. That was Thursday. Friday was the Filmington Mike O get-together, which was fantastic as well. A little smaller space, and there's spillover into the lobby where people were having a trade night. Luckily got out of there before the big storms hit. So let me just show a little bit of footage about, not the whole show, but things just caught my eye and I thought are interesting really for me. And then I'll go into some of my pickups. But to everybody that was there, wow, it was... I had more fun I think I had more fun at this National than I ever have. It's become a family reunion like never before. Each year, it's more and more and more. And I hate to say it, Cleveland, it's Cleveland's Cleveland, but I cannot wait. So first, let me show you some few little tidbits from the floor of the National. Goldstein's booth, and he has something right up my alley and super cool. Mike, why don't you tell us what you got there?
This is a Series 5 Johnson cookies that was mailed to people from 1955. And then inside the packs, there's cards.
So not in the box of cookies, mailed to you. Right. Show that mailing. That is super cool. And this one has the
Eddie Matthews on it.
Eddie Matthews on it. And how many cards are on that panel?
6.
Looks like 6. Mike, fantastic booth, and thanks for showing it. I love it. First off is Memory Lane. They have some incredible offerings. Specifically, it looks like somebody is unloading a major part of their Ruth collection. An amazing elections, Ruth. Auction confectionery. I know some people are going to be looking for that. I know some friends are definitely going to be looking for this maple crispet. I personally have a little bit of interest in this Willard's chocolate. I'm sure that'll go too high. Star Candy. So Memory Lane is going to have a huge Ruth's offering. Here's something. The Boston Garter, the Tris Speaker.
Right? Yeah, no, it's definitely a different atmosphere than used to.
Big Boy Sporting Life, Ty Cobb, and Wagner.
Some of it makes no sense too. It's like, yeah, I'm sure some of it will work and some of it
giving these guys a little bit of.
It's definitely interesting.
Here's quite a trio. The W600 Sporting Life cabinets.
Take care of yourself.
Wagner uniform. Mathewson street clothes. Cy Young.
Got the good stuff, huh?
Incredible stuff coming from Evans and Scott REA offering. Here's REA. Beautiful tip-top red Wagner. Got a big crease through it, but no big deal. Your usual host of Bruce. It's a nice E121. And here we are at REA. Rather than film the rows and rows of the mint cards of the 50s and some T cards, which I think I will, I'm going to kind of focus on things that I think are fantastic. First, it's hiding all over here by itself. 68 test issue 3D, a complete 9-card sheet with what looks like a pristine Clemente. There's no cracks in this. That is up for auction in REA, and I've never seen that before. These weren't released, so it's just a backdoor sheet. Over here, just some gems. Probably one of the prettiest issues, I've always said, is the Honest Cabinets, the Duke cabinets from 1894. I have one of those. More just fantastic stuff. I have an interest in that W521 Ruth and a 3. Fantastic, as well as the 516 too. I'm kind of showing things that I have some interest in. Look at this Bruner's bread. The Wagner. Hiding back there. All by his lonesome. This fantastic T204 Walter Johnson. They too have a maple crispet Ruth. It's got a little bit of paper loss on there on that side border, so not so interested in that one. A nice Sporting Life Cobb. Let's see what else we got here. Here's this Dick Perez original artwork. Can't go by any auction house without seeing your endless array of beautiful Cobbs. There's a fantastic T206 Cy Young portrait. REA is just killing it at this auction. I think Huggins and Scott is too. Memory Lane has those fantastic Ruths. Get yourself in on a 1914 Cracker Jack. Walter Johnson in a 1, nipped off the corner. The rest of it is fantastic. A fantastic Stallmeyer 53 in a 1.5. My friend, the Dandy potato chips. Super duper stuff at REA.
Yeah, that's fine. You don't need my hand in there.
One of my grails.
Cool. card today.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And at Huggins and Scott, this beautiful
It's crazy as nuts.
1910 owned strip
Oh,
cards.
let's get it from you.
There was him going on his first game.
The Wagner with that T206
And you were back there with him.
image. I have
No,
the Cobb.
Oh, okay.
No, this is I was
speaker
You
done-
got the
going.
photo from somewhere else.
And what's
Yeah.
really exciting for me is this number 10 Oak Candy. Christy Mathewson, the entire panel. You see it sometimes with the Bates Pass, but not with the panel. There's a beautiful example there. I think there's only two known of that, and then the Wagner next to it. So Huggins and Scott has a fantastic auction upcoming with some really, really super cards. Of course, your usual, and I say usual, 1950s and 30s cards, but some of this is extremely, extremely desirable. And for me, the biggie is this 19 owned Candy. Usually you see the cutout, rare, I don't know, 10 of them. The base pass cutout with the card, but never have I seen a panel before. Usually they're like this, and they're extraordinarily rare like this. So I will be hopefully trying hard for that Matheson. Their auction ends July 30th. Super, super fan. This is the Mile High auction preview, and the star of their auction will be this T206 Honus Wagner that's been restored. Some people don't like that. I personally think it's fantastic if you've seen the before images of what this card looked like. So, you know, iconic card that was pretty trashed up, and it was restored, and it's been marked as restored. So I think that's fantastic. You get a card back to the market that looks good. So I'll be really interested to see what that goes for. It'll go for a lot of money. Also interested to me is this 1925 Universal Toy Babe Ruth. Beautiful example there. Two cards that I'm really excited about in this auction. Okay, hope you enjoy that. I know it's a little Ruth heavy. It's pre-war, but I wanted to take some footage of what I like and what I'm interested in, and maybe some things that I'm may try to acquire over the next week or two at these coming auctions. So I did Thursday. I brought in 3 cards that I wanted to get reholdered by SGC. I'll show them. I've shown them before. The 1910 Orange Borders Cobb. That was in an old holder. And, I hear people say, why, mocking people that get their cards reholdered or graded at the National. You can't wait the 2 weeks to get your cards back from SGC. No, it's not that. It's just I don't want to send valuable cards through the mail. Makes sense to you? UPS or FedEx handling your cards when I can just hand them over to them and get them back the same day. That's my reasoning. The ultimate rare, Orange Borders. Mathewson, there's 3 of these known. It's the highest graded. I can't think of a price that someone would offer me and I would sell this card. Honestly, that's true. But happy to get that in a nice new SGC holder. The other one that I got reholdered was my Collins McCarthy 1917 Joe Jackson, which when I won this years ago, it came actually in a pretty new SGC holder, but it was cracked. So SGC reholdered it. Peter said that they were going to do it on the house. We will see if I get part of my amount that I paid to get these all reholdered reimbursed. We'll see. Couple other things. I'll show this. A couple people wanted to see this, including John Mangini. So I brought it to show and tell. This 68. Is this backwards? When I show this, is it going to come up on the screen backwards? I think I messed up. But anyway, the test issue never released 3D. Roberto Clemente. I did see a couple of these at the show. It's really funny. I was at this table and I think there were a couple 8s, and the dealer came up and asked me, he knew who I was, and he shook my hand, said, hey, and he said nobody knows who these were, but he knew I would, and I pulled this one out of my bag, and he got a huge kick out of that. So everybody likes looking at this card. Everybody likes it, even if you're not a vintage guy. I brought this W572 to Babe Ruth hand cut to show to Andrew, Enough Said Cards, and I don't think I ever showed it to him. This is all backwards. Sorry about that. I didn't set this up right. So those are what I reholdered. Now let's get to my purchase. I purchased one card. I'm going to turn the camera around and we'll take a look at it. So I had not really planned to buy anything. I never go to the National with something really on my hunt list or wish list. So it was Friday and it was toward the end of the day, and I'd walk down an aisle. I thought I'd walked the aisles many, many times, and I saw this card. And believe me, you guys were at the National. If you weren't, hopefully you'll go next year. But you see a bazillion cards you want or need or covet. And I'm very familiar with this card, and I've seen it 100 times. But I saw this one, and it significantly spoke to me, where you get this feeling, and you're shuffling your feet, and you're feeling antsy, and dollar signs are going through your head. And it became evident to me that I really wanted to make a run at this. I had a conversation with the dealer about cash or splitting it up with PayPal, and we came close, and I told him I'd think about it. So I walked away for about 5 or 10 minutes, and I'm not even sure why I walked away, because I wanted to obtain this card because it's just a fantastic example. And that is this T206 Sweet Cap 350/30 Walter Johnson. I like honest corners. I like good borders. I love registration and centering. And this one just, I don't know what to tell you, speaks for itself. I don't even really care if there's a back on it, but there is. I'm in this stage of my age, my life, my card collecting. I'm in the home stretch, people, and thankfully a lot of you have just left the starting gate. But I am consolidating, and I'm getting dream cards and letting go and trying to consolidate cards so I can, when it's my time, I hopefully have accumulated the cards that I've always wanted to. So people are surprised I don't have this, but I didn't have it. I don't have the Cy Young T206 either. I would love to have that. But here's my acquisition from the National, the T206 Sweet Cap 350/30 Walter Johnson Portrait. And I don't know what to say. It's just fantastic in every way. So I appreciate everyone. I appreciate my subscribers and the people that watch my videos, and I'm very appreciative of my friends in the hobby. So have a great week. Let's get back to it and start planning on next year. Thanks for watching.